you ready to uncover the secrets of Jordan, a land where ancient history and natural wonders collide? Imagine exploring the majestic Petra, floating effortlessly in the Dead Sea and sleeping under a canopy of stars in Wadi Rum. Join us as we journey through how to spend 7 days in Jordan. Your ultimate guide to experiencing the heart and soul of this mesmerizing country. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more thrilling travel content, and make sure you watch till the end for those essential insider tips that will transform your Jordan adventure from great to unforgettable. Let's dive into an adventure that spans the sands of time, and together, let's make your week in Jordan an epic tale of discovery. Best time to visit Jordan. The ideal time to visit Jordan is during spring, March to May, or autumn, September to November. These seasons offer mild temperatures, perfect for exploring Jordan's vast desert landscapes and ancient ruins. Spring brings blooming wildflowers, while autumn provides comfortable weather without the summer heat or winter chill. Jordan Airport Tips. Most international travelers arrive via Queen Alaya International Airport, located just south of Amman. It's recommended to arrange for a SIM card at the airport to stay connected. Currency exchange offices and ATMs are readily available, but carrying some Jordanian dinar upon arrival is wise. The airport is well connected to Amman and other destinations by taxi and shuttle services, with a trip to downtown Amman costing around $25 USD. How to get around Jordan. Renting a car is a flexible option for those comfortable with driving, offering freedom to explore at one's own pace for around $30 to $40 USD per day. For those preferring not to drive, the jet bus service provides connections between major cities and tourist sites. Taxis and ride-sharing apps are readily available in Amman and other cities. Consider purchasing the Jordan Pass if planning to visit multiple historical sites, as it includes entry fees and visa waiver benefits. Day 1. Driving from Amman to Petra. How to get to Petra from Amman. Upon your arrival by plane, you'll touch down at Queen Alaya International Airport, situated about 15.5 miles outside of Amman. Collect your luggage and let's embark directly towards Petra. We opted for a car rental at the airport, but you're equally free to catch a bus or hire a private driver. Should you decide on renting a car, there are 2 routes you might consider. You could take the Desert Highway, Route 15, which is the fastest path, or opt for the more picturesque, albeit lengthier, King's Highway, Route 35. The Desert Highway, true to its name, slices through the desert, offering no particularly interesting stops, and will get you to Petra in around 3 hours. If time isn't pressing and you're a fan of dramatic vistas, I'd recommend the celebrated King's Highway. This route, while slightly longer in distance, entails winding roads and steep ascents, extending the journey to roughly 5 hours without any pauses. Given the numerous attractions along this route, dedicating a full day to explore should you wish to investigate each site is easily done. Choosing the King's Highway, make sure to halt at least at 2 spots. The first is the Mujib Dam viewpoint, where a sweeping panoramic view of the snaking roads and mountains awaits. The next must-see is Karak Castle, where the vistas are equally stunning. Additionally, if you've purchased a Jordan Pass, entry here is complimentary. Where to stay in Petra? Wadi Musa is your gateway to the majestic ancient city of Petra, and I'd suggest booking a stay here for 2 nights. Given the journey from Amman to Petra spans quite a bit, roughly 150 miles, you're likely to arrive by late afternoon or early evening. Since you won't have the chance to explore Petra on your arrival day, spending the night in Wadi Musa is essential. You'll need a whole day to wander through Petra's awe-inspiring sights, so planning for another overnight stay at Wadi Musa makes perfect sense. It allows you to catch a restful night's sleep and hit the ground running the next day. And though Wadi Musa is a sizable town with plenty of accommodation choices, opting for a hotel near Petra's entrance is a smart move. Not only does it save you time getting to and from the site, but it also means you can start your adventure bright and early. As for lodging costs, prices vary widely. but you can find good options ranging from $30 to $150 per night. Day 2. Exploring the ancient city of Petra. What to expect in Petra? Petra, a city carved from rose-colored stone, stands as a testament to the wonders of the ancient world and is rightfully hailed as one of the new 7 wonders of the modern world. It's an essential stop on any journey through Jordan, offering a day filled with discovery and awe. The Treasury is Petra's crown jewel, famously featured in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, but trust me, Petra's treasures go well beyond this iconic facade. Gear up for a full day of adventure as there's so much more to see. To step into this ancient world, you'll need to grab a ticket. For a single day's exploration, it's $70 USD per person. But here's a pro tip. Consider the Jordan Pass. At just $100 USD, not only does it include your day in Petra, but it also covers your Jordan visa fee, normally an additional $56 USD on its own. Your journey into Petra kicks off at the Visitor Center, leading you through the Seek, a mysterious narrow gorge formed by towering natural rock walls. This winding path stretches about 1.2 miles and leads you straight to a breathtaking sight, the Treasury, emerging dramatically at the gorge's end. While the Treasury might be the star attraction, I urge you to venture further. Beyond lies a 1.55-mile trail dotted with Nabetian ruins waiting to be explored. The path to the monastery starts where the main trail ends, and yes, there are 800 steps to conquer. But reaching the top reveals a view so stunning, you'll know every step was worth it. Viewpoint of the Treasury from above. Beyond the main path, you'll find 2 breathtaking spots perfect for those eager to catch a glimpse of the Treasury from an elevated perspective. And trust me, skipping this is not an option. The first spot requires the company of a local guide to access. You'll notice several Bedouins ready to lead the way in exchange for a fee, of course. However, there's an alternative route. It takes a bit more effort to reach the top, but it's completely free and offers stunning views along the way. We opted for this second option and had no regrets. Petra by night. If you find yourself in Petra on a Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday, don't miss the chance to experience the enchanting Petra by Night event. Imagine walking through the Seek, the narrow gorge leading to the Treasury, with your path illuminated by the soft glow of 1,500 candles. It's an absolutely magical sight. While the performance itself might not steal the show, the candlelit view of the Treasury is truly unmatched. Just a heads up, this mesmerizing experience isn't covered by the standard admission ticket. So if you're keen on soaking up this unique atmosphere, you'll need to grab an additional ticket, which costs about $24 USD per person. Trust me, it's a sight you won't want to miss. Day 3. Snorkeling or scuba diving in Aqaba. How to get to Aqaba from Petra. After the whirlwind of excitement yesterday, you've definitely earned yourself a beach day. Aqaba, Jordan's singular seaside gem, is an absolute must-visit if you're spending a week in this beautiful country. The drive from Petra is a breezy 2 hours along the highway. How about starting your day with an early breakfast and then setting off? That way, you can soak up nearly an entire day of sun, sea, and sand in Aqaba. What to expect in Aqaba? Honestly, Aqaba might not be your go-to for traditional sightseeing, but it's a paradise for beach lovers and underwater adventurers. The Red Sea's warm, crystal-clear waters make it an unbeatable spot for snorkeling and scuba diving. Imagine, Aqaba is a treasure trove of vibrant marine life. I'd never dipped my toes into snorkeling or scuba diving before, but both had been on my wish list for ages. Given that snorkeling is a top activity in Aqaba, it felt like the universe telling me this is your chance. So I booked an adventure with Deep Blue Dive Center, and let me tell you, it was fantastic. We decided to stick with snorkeling, though they offer diving adventures too. Our excursion was a 4-hour boat journey that took us to 3 different snorkeling spots. They served us a tasty lunch and provided soft drinks to quench our thirst under the sun. We were treated to the sights of gorgeous coral reefs teeming with colorful fish, and we even spotted an airplane wreck and a tank submerged in the crystal waters. Plus, floating on the sea, we could see 4 countries at once. Egypt, Israel, Jordan, and Saudi Arabia. Isn't that amazing? Where to stay in Aqaba? Aqaba is a treasure trove of comfy and budget-friendly lodging options, offering a bit more bang for your buck compared to the pricier Petra or Amman. For those looking to make the most out of their stay, the Marina Plaza Hotel is a fantastic choice with cozy rooms starting at about $60 USD per night. If you're after something a tad more luxurious without breaking the bank, the Mövenpick Resort and Spa Talabeh Aqaba dazzles with its beachfront views and sumptuous amenities, with prices hovering around $120 USD per night. Day 4. Jeep Tour and Overnight Stay in the Wadi Rum. How to get to the Wadi Rum from Aqaba. Wadi Rum, affectionately dubbed the Valley of the Moon, is not just a breathtaking expanse of desert in southern Jordan. It's also a UNESCO World Heritage Site that boasts some of the most incredible landscapes you'll ever lay eyes on. The vast desert has served as the backdrop for numerous blockbuster films, including The Martian and Lawrence of Arabia. Visiting Wadi Rum is undeniably a bucket list item for anyone traveling through Jordan. To kick off your adventure, you'll head to Wadi Rum Village, which is just an hour's drive from Aqaba. While you have the option to rent a 4x4 vehicle and venture through the area at your own pace, I highly recommend opting for the tour with a local guide to truly capture the essence and hidden gems of this majestic desert. What to expect at the Wadi Rum? Just like I mentioned earlier, I really suggest opting for a tour led by a local driver instead of venturing into Wadi Rum on your own. The desert is vast and without mobile network coverage, so exploring solo might not be the wisest choice. Plus, local guides know all the hidden gems, so you won't have to worry about planning. There's a variety of tours available, ranging from multiple-day adventures to half-day excursions. If you've got a week in Jordan, setting aside a full day and a night to dive into the Wadi Rum experience is something I'd truly recommend. That's what we did, and it was absolutely fantastic. The full-day tours typically kick off at 9 a.m. during the cooler months or 10 a.m. when it's warmer. Your day will be packed with visits to iconic spots like Lawrence Spring, Kazali Canyon, and the Berta Rock Bridge. You'll have plenty of time at each site to wander, snap loads of pics, and soak in the views. Believe me, the breathtaking sights you'll witness are truly unforgettable. Bouncing around in the back of a Jeep across these spectacular landscapes is an adventure in itself. The day wraps up at Sabata, where you're treated to a stunning sunset against the backdrop of dramatic rock formations. I can't recommend enough spending the night at their base camp. Post-sunset, you'll head to the campsite for a traditional Bedouin dinner and a chance to learn about their fascinating culture. Come morning, after enjoying a hearty breakfast, you'll be taken back to Wadi Rum Village, ready to embark on the next leg of your journey. Where to stay in the Wadi Rum? If your tour company provides the option for an overnight stay, it's generally a great idea to take them up on that offer. However, it's worth noting that not all companies have their own camps, and given that these camps can be quite basic, it's completely understandable if you're looking for something a bit more comfortable. If you're leaning towards a hotel stay in Wadi Rum for that extra touch of comfort, there are some fantastic options to consider. For a blend of luxury and authentic desert experience, the Wadi Rum Night Luxury Camp offers beautiful tent accommodations with stunning views, starting at around $180 USD per night. Day 5. Floating in the Dead Sea. How to get to the Dead Sea from Wadi Rum. I'm sure you've come across countless photos of folks effortlessly floating in the Dead Sea with a newspaper in hand. It's an iconic, must-do activity that deserves a spot on your bucket list. The Dead Sea isn't just any body of water, it holds the title of the lowest point on Earth and ranks as the world's deepest hypersaline lake. Its salt concentration is nearly 10 times higher than that of the ocean, which means you'll be floating more than swimming in its buoyant waters. Now, if you're journeying from Wadi Rum, prepare for a scenic 4.5-hour drive to the northern shores of the Dead Sea, where the cozy hotels await your arrival. The initial stretch of the journey zips along the highway, but soon you'll find yourself winding through the mountains as you approach the Dead Sea's southern end. Fortunately, the traffic is usually sparse along these roads, making for a serene and enjoyable drive. What to expect at the Dead Sea? While the hotels by the Dead Sea are nestled on its northern shores, regarded as the safest entry point for a dip, it's not necessarily where the Dead Sea shows off its most enchanting side. For those in pursuit of the Dead Sea's iconic white salt formations, a detour around Wadi al-Mujib is a must. If your journey begins from Wadi Rum village, you'll encounter the Dead Sea's southern edge first. Make your way towards the Mujib shallots, and about 2 kilometers south of there, near the coral reefs, is the perfect spot to park and explore the shoreline on foot. This stretch is a treasure trove of stunning salt formations set against the backdrop of crystal clear, sparkling blue waters that could easily fool you into thinking you've landed on a Caribbean island. The only giveaway, the pristine, white beaches here are crafted from salt, not sand. Taking a dip in these waters is tempting, unless there are signs advising against it, but I'd advise against it if you can't shower off afterwards. Without a fresh water rinse, the salt can dry on your skin, leading to an irresistible urge to scratch. Trust me, it's not a comfortable situation. Before you plunge into the Dead Sea's unique waters, there are a few things you might want to consider. I've put together a list of 10 essential tips for visiting the Dead Sea that'll ensure you're well prepared. So, while stopping by this southern area is great for the views and photo ops, I suggest continuing your adventure towards the north. Staying at one of the northern hotels for a night offers the perfect opportunity to safely experience the Dead Sea's famous buoyancy and unwind for a bit. Where to stay at the Dead Sea? Just like I suggested earlier, I absolutely think you should spend at least one night by the Dead Sea. Trust me, having immediate access to fresh water and towels right after your unique floating experience is a game changer. Plus, taking a dip from the beach of a hotel is not only the most convenient option, but also the safest. Now, it's important to note that the budget-friendly options are a bit scarce around the Dead Sea, so you might have to stretch your budget slightly. For a stay that combines comfort with convenience, expect to pay around $150 to $250 USD per night. Day 6. Visiting Jerash and arriving in Amman. How to get to Jerash from the Dead Sea. Jerash, the crown jewel among Jordan's Roman ruins, awaits your exploration with its sprawling landscape dotted with ancient temples, grand amphitheaters, towering columns, and a maze of once bustling buildings. This archaeological haven offers a deep dive into history that could captivate you for a few hours or lure you into its stories for a full day, depending on your passion for archaeology. Located just a 1.5-hour drive from the northern reaches of the Dead Sea, Jerash is a must-visit for those fascinated by the whispers of the past. If ruins and archaeology spark your curiosity, consider setting off early after a hearty breakfast to make the most of your day. However, if a shorter visit satisfies your historical appetite, feel free to start your journey at a more leisurely pace. There's no rush. Jerash's ancient wonders have stood the test of time and await your arrival with open arms. What to expect at Jerash? Just a heads up, Jerash is a ticketed site, which means you'll need to grab a ticket to step into this ancient world. I learned this the hard way when I arrived right at closing time and missed the chance to explore. It was a bit of a bummer, so I definitely recommend checking the opening hours before you go. If you've got the Jordan Pass, you're all set to enter without paying extra. If not, it's $14 per person to get in, so make sure you plan ahead and enjoy every moment in this historical wonder. How to get to Amman from Jerash. Once you've wrapped up your adventure in Jerash, it's time to make your way to Amman. The journey to Amman can take anywhere from 45 to 60 minutes depending on traffic and the specific area of the city where you'll be staying. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the scenic ride as you move on to the next exciting part of your trip. Where to stay in Amman? Considering your departure time, I'd suggest staying in Amman for 1 or 2 nights to fully immerse yourself in its charm. You'll want at least a full day to wander through Amman's bustling streets and historical sites. If your flight departs late at night the following day, a one-night stay could be just right. However, if you've got more time, opting for 2 nights is a great idea to ensure you don't miss out on anything. For your stay, the Amman Rotana is a fantastic choice, offering luxury and comfort right in the heart of the city. Room rates start at around $150 USD per night. Day 7. Exploring Amman. What to expect in Amman? Amman, the bustling capital of Jordan, beautifully blends modernity with its rich tapestry of ancient history, making it a must-visit spot on your journey. While it might not always be the first choice for tourists, dedicating at least a day to explore this vibrant city is absolutely worth it. At the heart of its historical allure is the Citadel, perched atop a steep hill and offering a snapshot into several eras with landmarks like the Temple of Hercules, the Byzantine Church, and Umayyad Palace. Don't miss out on Rainbow Street, a lively hub in Amman brimming with shops, eateries, and cafes. It's the perfect spot to savor local flavors and unwind as you soak in the city's dynamic atmosphere. And that wraps up our epic journey through Jordan in 7 unforgettable days. We hope this guide inspires you to explore the rich tapestry of history, culture, and natural beauty that Jordan has to offer. From the ancient ruins of Petra to the tranquil waters of the Dead Sea and the vast starlit skies of Wadi your adventure is bound to be filled with moments that will take your breath away. If you found this guide helpful, give us a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and adventures from around the globe. We love sharing our experiences and insider knowledge to help make your travels extraordinary. Remember, every journey starts with a single step, and Jordan is waiting to unfold its mysteries for you. So pack your bags, bring your sense of wonder, and embark on your adventure through this incredible land. Until our next adventure, stay curious, keep exploring, and never stop wandering. Safe travels, everyone!